Welcome, Panther fans, to another edition of Panther Preview. It's week one of the season, Battle of the Cats. Talk about it.
Things are looking up, Harold. Always for you, right?
Oh, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, things are going well. We, entering into a fourth week of practice. It's just, kids are handling the heat well. They really came off a Friday night really intent on improving and understanding what we need to do to get better. And so that was really, really good. Just really excited about kicking it off. The Battle of the Cats is still the premier rivalry in Jackson County, if not the coast.
It's an old one.
It's an old one. It's always fun to go over. Like I said, we were talking earlier. I think I've been in, this will be my 27th or 8th one.
Maybe, I think this is going to be your 28th.
Yeah, something like that.
You've participated as a player, as a Moss Point head coach, or a Moss Point coach, a Moss Point head coach, and then a Pascagoula head coach. So you kind of own this Battle of the Cats.
Wow, and it's always exciting. Going in, anybody can win any game. We've had some really, really tight ones. One that really stands out to me was the first time going back to Moss Point in 2011. It was a 10-0 affair. And the very next year, just some of those guys that were just tremendous players like Joe Kirkland and those guys coming out and you have to think we won in the last minute of the game on a pass right there at the end, and to Breland Hoy, and just fantastic memories from the game, and it's been a really wild one.
One that sticks with me was a sign that was in the stands that said "We took out the trash." Of course, it was a reference to you, and that was a. How the fans and all that. Tommy Dorsey was with me at that time, and he coined the phrase, or he didn't coin it, but he sure as heck used it. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and it was sweet to walk out that night with the win.
Well, it's always nice to win. It's like playing. You ever fought with your brother? You don't want to lose. You want to go in and you want to make sure you play well and compete. And Coach Feaster has those guys over there prepared very well, and they got a great coaching staff. A lot of guys that I've coached with or coached against or coached in general are on staff over there. So I know that there's a lot of pride in that community and Moss Point community. I mean, I've got family that's been in Moss Point since I think my grandmother graduated from Moss Point in 1934. And then my mom graduated in '58, and she's one of 8 kids. So the Moss Point roots grow deep, but we came to Pascagoula. We were able to start something great here and entering our 13th season. Just looking forward to the 13th edition of being here in Pascagoula representing the Panthers going over to Moss Point.
Well, it's always exciting. 2 communities divided by Jefferson Street. Some people, the Battle of the Cats, the Battle of Jefferson Street, the Battle of whatever. But it's brothers and cousins and family playing one another. That one night we walk out on that field and we're not friends, but when we walk off, Absolutely. It's all forgotten. We're friends and we move on.
I've got a picture in my office, which is a picture that was taken from the stands of the Moss Point and Pascagoula players on a knee together having a prayer at the end of the game. That's probably one of my most fond memories of that game and of a post game, and one of the real big alumni over there always he sent that to me, and it sits in my office today, and it's a constant reminder of my roots and what it means to play in that game. It's such an important game to the community. And I break out. I got my picture of Coach Miller on my desk, and I always think about Coach Miller.
One of a kind.
I got Coach Matthews, same deal. I mean, those 2 guys, they went after it on the last Friday of the regular season, but the rest of the year they were really close friends, and did a lot of things together in the off season that not a lot of people knew about. But that's the kind of rivalry it is. It's one of those to where it's fun to play and it's fun to be a part of.
You can feel that in Moss Point. I've got a lot of friends over there. We're talking all the time. That this game means a little bit more to them this year than it has in the past because of the rallying. They're coming together. They're rallying after the tornado. I know that was huge devastation over there.
Right.
I know being part of the Elks, we went over there and we fed the community, going through the neighborhoods, passing out. And Mark Turner was with me, coach at Moss Point, and he actually gave me a Moss Point high school hat. I actually wore it because I felt like that day we were all Moss Point.
Right.
So, there is that camaraderie, but there's that fierce
competitiveness
when we hit the field.
It's and that's a wonderful thing. Once the tornado hit, we had a lot of kids from here go and volunteer time, go over to help people clean up their yards, clean up around the baseball field. A lot of coaches from Pascagoula went over to help. Coaches from all over the coast came in, and just to be a part of the cleanup effort and those kind of things. And Dr. Harper's done a really good job of managing the rebuilding of Moss Point, the infrastructure there around the high school, of getting the lights up in the press box building. Kudos to Moss Point's, their maintenance department for getting everything ready. And just really, really excited to go over, but even more excited to see the improvements that were brought about by such devastation. And a lot of times we look back at our own devastation after Katrina, and we were able to go out, and a lot of times the things that were taken away were built back in a way that were a tremendous improvement. And just there'll only be one Alexander Dantzler Field, Alexander Stadium. And I didn't know Mr. Dantzler very well, but I did know Coach Alexander well, and it's always humbling to walk into a place that's got his name on the field and Coach Miller's name on the field house, and those two are synonymous with the game.
Something to be different this year, if you watch the game on Facebook or YouTube Live, is we usually, when we go to Dantzler Field, we film from top of the press box.
Right.
Press box has changed. They've got a new press box now. Has a slanted ceiling, so we won't be up there. We will be filming.
Once we get there, we'll figure out how everything's going to play out.
Pretty sure we're going to be on the Pascagoula side, top of their stands. So not as high, maybe not as good visually, but still going to be fun. It's going to be electric. Can't wait.
And I know that we're waiting to see for tickets. I think Dragonfly or in person are the ways to get the tickets. If you have any questions, you can call 475-4405. It's the stadium over in Moss Point. It's a number that, as a kid, I had to memorize because Coach Miller said if you're not on the answer machine, you're off the team. So if you were going to be late or miss or whatever, you had to leave a message at 475-4405. So
4405.
You can still call that, and they'll answer and give you any information you need on tickets.
Okay. Today being Tuesday, yesterday, how did practice go?
Really, really well. We came out. We wanted to go ahead and get our Tuesday. Usually Tuesday is our big day. We wanted to go ahead because camp has been so long this year. We got our Tuesday in yesterday. We went a good 2 hours. Really got after each other. Got a lot of good film on tape today. We're going to watch that tape and make some adjustments and corrections, go out, really start trying to get our legs back under us, because camp being 4 weeks, the big concern now is, have I done enough? Have I done too much? What's the right balance there as a coach from a conditioning standpoint to make sure that we're ready to perform optimally from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, without overloading them or overtaxing them?
Wow, that's as a fan, I'm excited to get started. Being the first week, we've been waiting on this.
365 days, baby, for a first day. So welcome to Pascagoula Panther Football 2023 edition. We're excited. Thank you, Harold, for bringing this, coming and doing the interview, and Frank for filming and putting this up. A lot of people really enjoy keeping up with the Panthers through this format, and just looking forward to next week.
Well, hey, we'll see y'all Friday night.